No, if you asked me what I wanted to be at 10 years old, I would have told you I don't want to be poor.
I mean, you don't hear many 10-year-olds say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be in sales. I mean, did you say sales at 10 or,
No, if you asked me what I wanted to be at 10 years old, I would have told you I don't want to be poor. And that's it. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I didn't want to live the way that I sort of lived growing up.
Awesome.
And sales provided me that opportunity. And you're absolutely right. And I agree with Andy. I love Andy. 10 years ago, if you would have asked 10 people, 11 would have said, that they would have had a negative association or experience with people in sales. They wouldn't trust them. All of these, they would have, probably painted a picture of a used car salesman for you. Right. And there's a lot of people nowadays, and there's been, some that have been doing this sort of work for a while, but there's more and more that are really doing their part to change that perception of people and for the sales profession. Because, look, if you're good at this craft and you dedicate yourself to it and when you're in and out of the office, because it's to be great and to be elite and to make it to the top 1%. It's not about just what you do in the office. It's what you do out of the office as well. You can make more money than a lawyer, than a doctor, than people that go to school for many, 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 many years and still could never, make what you can make, in commission as a great top 1% seller.
Yeah. There's something I feel like it was a little contradicting there that you said sales can be taught. Yet you also said, as long as you're kind of a good giving person, I've had Dale Dupree on the show and Larry Levine who wrote Selling from the Heart. It just so happens that they are good people and I could tell you're a good person. What if you're not a good person? And I think, I'm so encouraged. I think progressively sales is becoming more about, they do decide for the enterprise evaluation of 9 months. Is this a product that I want to evaluate, but also do I want to hang out with Eric Jones for 9 months? There's a component of, is Eric a good human being? So it's, I think that it's refreshing that I can be myself, and it just so happens that, I've been successful, but I do believe I'm a good person and not, evil. But what about maybe people that their moral compass is a little more gray?
I've been that person.
Yeah.
When I first got my first sales job, I learned a lot of bad habits. I learned a lot of those things that everybody hates about salespeople. And I had to unlearn those things, and I think that,
examples of what you
saying whatever to get the deal, treating people transactionally, walking around with what, Larry likes to call commission breath. I didn't really care about the other person on the other end of the transaction or relationship. It was all about me and maximizing my commission and stuffing my pockets, and that's what I was taught. And I didn't really know any better until it sort of took me so far and it didn't feel great. And I had to sort of learn more of a serving mindset and more helping others and really things that were more aligned with what I believed in rather than just putting numbers up on the board. Our script was, it was you'd warm people up, say some, crap that they didn't care about. And then you would throw out an offer. If they didn't bite, then you throw out another offer. If they didn't bite, you would change the subject. You throw out another offer. And then my manager used to always say, hey, if you don't get an order, you better get a commitment for a future order. And that was it, and it was pounding the phones doing that all day. And it was very transactional and it was products and things like that. So there wasn't a huge relationship component, at least in the beginning. But I had to unlearn a lot of that stuff. Yeah. And there's some people in sales that'll do anything to get a deal. And there's always going to be those people. They're not going away. But if there's enough people doing the right thing, doing the work like Larry and Andy and some of these other people and Dale that you've mentioned, then, more people are going to be taught that there's a better way.